Hello and welcome to a new episode of EU Decoded, a podcast by the EPP Group in the European Parliament. And today we focus on unsafe and illegal products entering the European market in billions. We're talking about goods sold through platforms like Temu, Shein, AliExpress and others, which for years have largely gone untouched while flooding the European market with non-compliant products. And that is now set to change, thanks to new initiatives aimed at protecting consumers and the European single market. To put this into perspective, 91% of all small parcels arriving in Europe come from Chinese e-commerce platforms. And this surge has prompted action. The European Parliament's Committee on Internal Market and Consumer Protection recently travelled to China to assess the impact on the European market. And EPP Group members Dirk, Gotink and Andreas Schwab were part of that mission, and we spoke to them about what they found after witnessing the scale of Chinese e-commerce firsthand.
I think, first of all, we witnessed how big these companies are. We are not used to the size of these companies, and they are now very active on our market. They like the European market very much because we have consumers that are willing to spend money. You know what? I think every time we confronted them with the problem of the products that are coming onto the market, that many of these products are not complying with our rules. And actually, they were understanding, they want to comply. But in fact, at the moment, we still don't see it at the border. And that is the main problem. You can find all kinds of fake products and unsafe products and unhealthy products on platforms like Temu. And we have to do much more to stop it.
As MEP Dirk Gotink points out, Chinese platforms say they are willing to comply with EU rules, but we are yet to see the results of that willingness. Following the Parliament's mission, China issued new guidance for its e-commerce sector to better align with international markets. That may sound like a positive step, but MEP Andreas Schwab urges caution.
I think we can be very proud of that visit. It was our idea. But I mean, the guidance is not yet the proof that companies will really abide by the law. And I mean, we have to be very careful because 1.3 billion of people in China, it's not only the companies that are big, but also the country. They have a huge uptake of all the products. And we in Europe, we are only a little part in addition. So if we are not careful now about our rules being respected, we will be absorbed. That's our question.
So how big is the problem really? Are we exaggerating when we say Europe is being flooded with non-compliant products?
Well, last year it was 6 billion small parcels. 6 billion, and every year it grows by 25%. And basically that means tens of millions per day coming into the European market. And that is competing unfairly with our producers. It is competing unfairly with our retailers, with a lot of actors in the economy. And we have to usually get rid of it because consumers have to throw it away very quickly. If you buy products, you use it once or twice and you throw it away. Who pays for that? That's us. So we are stupid. Yeah, we let bad products come onto the market and then we pay for throwing it away. And that has to stop.
And we pay also for the health problems that come up after having worn these slippers. Not only we throw them away and we burn them, or we have to look for the waste to be treated seriously. We also have health risks, and we also put a market in imbalance that has been growing correctly in Europe that we don't want to destroy. So it's a full set of questions that these cheap products pose to our regulatory framework.
Europe, of course, is known for its strong product safety rules and protections for the single market. So where is the system failing? How is it possible that billions of small parcels, many of them unsafe, enter the EU every year? MEP Gotink points to two key issues.
One is the liability. Who's responsible? And in case of the packages at the moment, it's the consumer that is responsible for the quality so that the product is compliant with EU law. That's crazy. We have to make the suppliers of these products and the platforms responsible. And that's what we did in the customs legislation. The second point is we have very limited controlling capacities at the border and with market surveillance authorities. We are strengthening that, we're investing in that, and that's something really for the next 5 to 10 years to make it much more difficult to put these kind of products on our market.
The new EU customs legislation shifts responsibility for product compliance from consumers to suppliers and platforms. It is built on 4 key pillars, making online traders responsible for the goods they sell, introducing a levy to cover customs processing costs, creating a central EU customs authority, and setting up a data hub to track goods in real time. Platforms that repeatedly fail to comply with EU rules could face fines of up to 6% of their annual imports or even suspension. But what more is needed to tackle the problem? According to MEP Andreas Schwab, not more regulation.
Well, we don't need that much more regulation. We need a common understanding of what will be controlled when packages, parcels, products come into the European Union. They can come via the Netherlands, they can come via Poland, they can come via the Mediterranean. And we have to have at all these places similar rules to be applied in a similar manner. And that is for sure much easier if there are big containers coming instead of small parcels. And we have, unfortunately, to ask our European consumers to pay a bit of a price for these safety rules that we have to put in place, because the big containers, they are better to be controlled, but it's true that the delivery of the products might not be as quickly done as at the moment when they come via airplanes.
To effectively tackle the surge in e-commerce, cooperation with countries like China will be essential, both to understand their business models and to make clear what is unacceptable in the European market. The EPP Group's position has always been clear. If you want access to the European market, you must play by European rules. And that's all for this episode of EU Decoded. Follow the EPP Group on social media for more updates, and thank you for listening. Until next time, goodbye.